Welcome to Greyfriars Kirkyard. And it used to be an old friary for the Franciscans, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. Today we're going to wander around this graveyard, this story of a very loyal dog, the most loyal dog of Scotland, and also see a little bit more of the church that's here as well, the friary. I'm Ariel, this is Urbanist. Let me know where you're watching from. Here, right in front of Greyfriars Bobby's Inn, which is a very famous dog, which a lot of people are right now gathering all around. Right over here. And we have the massive tour bus passing through, city sightseeing. And there's another tour bus company, Bright Bus Tours. So we are, of course, in the city of Edinburgh, Scotland, which is one of the most beautiful cities you'll see in the UK, in my opinion. We are about 5 minutes to take around just the Greyfriars Kirkyard, only for about 30 minutes. And then we'll do another broadcast a little bit later at 3 p.m. at the scheduled time. So join me to learn about the story about this very, very loyal dog before actually we walk into the Kirkyard. So Bobby is right here. And Bobby was a Skye Terrier who belonged to John Gray, who was a night watchman for the Edinburgh Police. The two were inseparable for 2 years. However, in February 1858, Gray died of tuberculosis. This dog was devastated, and he didn't want to leave his owner behind. So Bobby kept coming to the grave site of his owner, John Gray, who was right behind us, and we're going to see it soon. At first, the people of the Kirk allowed Bobby to stay, but then he kept coming back. And dogs were technically not allowed to stay overnight in the graveyard. So they tried kicking him out, but he kept trying to sneak back in. Day after day after day, staying by the side of his deceased owner. Implemented in Edinburgh, where all dogs had to be licensed. So this dog, since he was orphaned, either someone had to take ownership of him or something worse might happen to him. Might be put down, he might be sent away. People found it so heartwarming that this dog, Gray, Edinburgh, actually became the owner of Bobby. And they let him in to the graveyard and actually built a little shelter for him so he can actually spend his days by his owner's side. He spent 14 years by his owner's side until he died. At the ripe old age for a dog, 16. This is the statue built in his honor. And a lot of people rub his nose for good luck, but apparently the nose is actually getting damaged very seriously. It wasn't designed to be rubbed all the time. And the Edinburgh Council has been begging tourists to stop rubbing the nose, so I'm not going to rub the nose at all. And here we see a little plaque. And this was actually part of this monument was raised. Fell in love with the story as well. And it says, Greyfriars Bobby. from the life just before his death. Right here. And of course, after any famous figure in British history, there will always be a pub in their honor. So let's walk into the Kirkyard, and someone just earlier said, a viewer has been tuning in for a while, I can't watch you right now because of the events. I mean no offense, but in any situation in this earth that can happen, anything, there will always be a need for entertainment. It might be the people themselves that are suffering, and my heart goes out to them, or the people who, are other parts of the world and seeing the news. People, regardless, always need some entertainment, some escapism, and the BBC, this is entertainment for entertaining's sake. So I hope you enjoy this counter-programming to what you're seeing all in the news. My heart goes out to those people, but no discussion in the comments about that topic, because here we're just enjoying a good stroll in Edinburgh, Scotland, to enjoy the here and now of this beautiful life that we have, and that I'm grateful that I can walk around here and show you these sights. And I think we should all be grateful that, at least in our part of the world, we're experiencing peace. Of course, our hearts will always be with other people who are going through hardship. And there's many ways that many people around the world are helping. But for me, I'll continue entertaining, doing my best. All right, let's continue walking through the Kirkyard. So here is the gravesite of Greyfriars Bobby. Died on 14th January 1872, age 16 years. Let his loyalty and devotion be a lesson for us all. Look at that. Robert says, Harry Potter has a lot of names in here. Yeah. So there is a possibility that J.K. Rowling, who lived in Edinburgh during the entire writing of the majority of the Harry Potter series, came to this graveyard and saw the different names being written. So yeah, there's a chance. Let's continue walking around. Let's check out this plaque. Jenna says Bobby is a cute name for a dog. It really is. It says in Greyfriars Kirk. So I assume this religious structure, I called it a church, but I assume it's called a kirk. And hearing new words for religious structures more than I hear in Roman Catholicism. So Covenant was adopted and signed on 28th of February 1638. Wow, it's a very old kirk. Janice says kirk is a church. Are they interchangeable? Thank you for letting me know. Veronica says connection is spotty. Yeah, it is going to be a bit spotty. So yeah, there is a Disney movie of Greyfriars Bobby, and if you really like the name Bobby, listen to Company, the musical. It's on Spotify, search Company Musical, and the very first song basically is the word Bobby repeated over and over again in the most fun way possible. It's a amazing song. So Company Musical. It's not related at all to this actual Bobby. It's a different Bobby. But I like that it's the same name. Janice says, I believe it's interchangeable. Oh, thank you so much, Janice. Any ghost stories? There's a lot of ghost stories. Let's see if we can bump into at least one of them that I learned about. Here we can see all the chimneys, a little bit better perspective from this angle. Oh, look at this. And Janice says company changed from male to female. Yes, in the Broadway revival, the original Bobby was a male. Yeah. Is this still Glasgow? No, this is Edinburgh. Edinburgh, Scotland. Adam, great question. Look at this. A skeleton. Indeed I am. Indeed I am. Did you hear the banshee? Says Athena. No. Would not want to hear a banshee. For people who don't know, many Celtic countries, Scotland being one of the Celtic countries, believe that banshees, if you hear a very sharp scream at night from an inhuman creature, that spells death coming soon for you. So yes, if you hear a inhuman scream at night, don't go towards it.
Yeah, I wondered if they had, yeah. There's a few Harry Potter.
Athena says crying too. Yeah, don't walk. Oh, this is beautiful.
So, Rossio Lumos is going to be the support us. So we're going to practice this. Take your wand, raise it to the sky, and then on the count of 3, in your loudest voice, I want you all together.
They're doing a Harry Potter tour. Look at that. Kay says has heard a banshee before. I heard it once when a neighbor died. Yeah. Oh no, that's scary. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, there's a whole lot of host of tours here in Edinburgh. Any, but from just passing by them, they seem like really good tours. I can tell that the Scots are really good at storytelling. It's very important to the culture, just like Ireland as well. And yeah, I wish I would have collaborated with one of them because they seem so amazing. But yeah, I do recommend if you're coming here. What bird is this? Beautiful weather, says Anne. Yeah. DS says, good morning. What a surprise. Yeah. I'm so glad to be here. Elephant Cafe is where all the books were supposedly written, says Jean. Yeah, well, she used a few cafes, but Elephant is definitely the most famous of the cafes. And unfortunately, they had a fire and they're repairing right now. Seems like it wasn't total damage, which is good, but I was so sad because I was hoping to go there and film a video. Gigi says, we definitely need your streams right now. Oh, I'm so glad. Lisa says, it's good to be here with you, Ariel. Oh, I'm so glad you're enjoying it. Gigi said, poor nose. And Lisa says, I'm so happy for you, Ariel, for you to be in Scotland. I'm glad. Susan says it's a dove. Oh, thank you, Susan. Yeah, because doves and pigeons are related to each other. They're very close cousins, if not almost the same species, technically. So it looks very similar. Wow, beautiful dove, yeah. Lauren says also she wrote at Balmoral Hotel. Ooh, thank you so much, Lauren. At Balmoral. Hey, Irene. Nice to see you here. Welcome. This is a beautiful graveyard. Wow. Well, at least in a sunny day. Imagine if a gloomy day would have a different feel to it. But wow. Especially like it's right in the middle of the city. DS asks, have you ever been to Scotland before? I've been to England before. I guess I can see more up here. Let's see. Okay, so it seems this way is back to the city. So let's gallivant through the graveyard. Leanne, nice to see you here. Leanne says, I love old graveyards. Yeah. Joanne says, doing an amazing job. I love watching. I'm so glad you do. Thank you so much for tuning in. Melody says, I've always wanted to see Greyfriars Kirkyard. Thank you for taking me here. My pleasure. Do let me know if you want to see anything in particular. I'll do my best to find it. I don't know too much about the graveyard. Been taking a little break from researching history. I love the contrast of green grass and the headstones and the buildings. Me too. And Donald, your last name is infamous in Scotland. Very, very infamous story with the Campbells versus the McDonald's. Nicholas says, pleasant morning, watching from Trinidad. Can you find the Ark of the Covenant? Asked Athena. I'll do my best, Athena. I'll do my best to find the great Ark of the Covenant. Diaz asks, what you enjoyed most about Scotland? I really love the city of Glasgow, in my opinion. I really, really love the energy there. That's the thing that struck out to me the most thus far. Lauren says I should check out St. Andrews. Cool, yeah. St. Andrews, I'll look into it. Lots of skulls and bones. They use this imagery a whole lot. Veronica says a lot of people fear graveyards. In New York City, we have tours, music, entertainment, and amusing holiday activities. The one here in Queens has a beautiful lake with turtles and birds. Yeah, the negative association with graveyards is a fairly modern concept that started probably after the 1950s or so. So back in, at least in the 1800s, at least in New York, I'm not sure here in the UK, but in New York it was normal to have picnics and kind of spend the Sunday afternoon at the graveyard. It would just be a normal park for people. It wouldn't be associated too much with mourning, necessarily, specifically mourning or grieving or fear or haunted stories. That would not be the main association. It was a peaceful respite from everyday life. And that's why, at least in New York City, a lot of the graveyards are designed very huge, very big. Let me know if it's the same thing here in Scotland, or was the same thing here in Scotland. Are there any Da Vinci Codes references here? I don't think in Scotland too much. I don't think you'll find Da Vinci Code stuff in Scotland. There's only the Freemasons. The longest running, continuously running Freemason lodge in the world is here in Edinburgh. And I passed by it the last live stream I did in Edinburgh. That's the only thing, really. Actually, there was one other thing. There was like the supposed continuation of the Knights Templar was also here, called the Thistle Society. Ron says, I don't think this is where you find your Scottish lass. Indeed, indeed. Wow. Matrix asks, why am I not in the Ukraine? Not quite the most peaceful place to do live streams, unfortunately. But I have seen videos of it. It seemed like a beautiful city, and maybe one day when things get better, I'll be able to see it. There's actually another YouTube live streamer who's done plenty of videos there. Wow, this is huge.
And as well as seeing it very clearly from the graveyard, you can see it from the back of the Elephant House Cafe. Hands up if you're familiar already with the Elephant House Cafe. So for those of you who aren't, it's a cafe in Edinburgh which famously claims
Johnny says Da Vinci Code was partly filmed in Scotland. Really, Johnny? Do let me know what parts. I'm so curious which one. Mala says, you're doing a great job to helping me escape. Lauren says, it filmed outside Edinburgh. Oh, interesting. Athena says, Da Vinci Code was some truth mixed in with fantasy. Yeah, of course, yeah. Oh, wow, look at that bird. What bird is that? Susie, I know you're watching. Let us know. Beautiful. Oh. It was Roslyn Church near Edinburgh. Oh yeah, that's what aligns with the ley lines. Martin says it's a magpie. Thank you so much, Martin and Lauren. Magpie. Okay, thank you. Rhonda says, so glad we're all together this Sunday. You brighten my day, says Rhonda. I'm so glad, Rhonda. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm glad this is brightening your day. This is what's called the flooded wall. I wonder why it's called the flooded wall. NW says, have you seen Train Spotting? No. I tried seeing the first 10 minutes. And unfortunately, in those first 10 minutes, there's a plot line about a dead baby being disposed. I couldn't watch any further. But I do know it takes place in nearby Leith. It was going to film here in Edinburgh, but the Edinburgh Council and the government did not want anything to do with that film here. Joanne says other eggs. However, speaking of Train Spotting, one of my favorite directors became famous because of that film. I like his subsequent films. Yesterday, Steve Jobs. He also did some Slumdog Millionaire as well. McD says, did you visit Leith? No, I was tempted to go today, but no, I didn't decide not to. Do you watch Jeff Marshall? Asked Adam. Jeff Marshall is a YouTuber that does mostly videos about trains, mostly in London. He's an excellent YouTuber and he knows his stuff about trains. No, I have not seen him. I don't see him that much. I've seen only a few videos. And they're really good. He's really good at what he does. Kate says it's also yeah, there was other magpies when we saw them all together. France beat Scotland in rugby yesterday. Notice any hungover French people? Yes, I've noticed there's a lot of French in here in Edinburgh. And they were all chanting in French yesterday. I could hear them till late at night. Hey, Susie, good afternoon. Good morning. Ron says most of the French were staring at me. Yeah, I mean, that's how it felt like when I was live streaming on Friday. Most certainly. It is a rather uncomfortable feeling. Like me going to Paris or France, I already expect it, but I didn't expect it, and then didn't notice till halfway through the live stream. I was like, oh, that's why I'm getting all these eyes on me. Adam says, this is something I don't understand about the French, but the people are nice. Yeah, by all means, the French are very nice. It's just, yes, it is a bit jarring as an American and even hanging out here in UK where it's also not common to stare at people. It was a bit jarring experiencing that. So right over here is the castle. Look at those views. Wow. Such a beautiful city. Okay, everyone, that was Greyfriars Kirk. I'll be back in 30 minutes at 3 p.m. UK time for a longer live video where we'll explore more of Edinburgh. For tuning in, and feel free to press that like button and share these videos with relevant Facebook groups. Everyone, keep being awesome and always keep on exploring. Have a great day, everyone. I'll be back in 30 minutes. Slang da folle.